Hello, hello everyone. It is Jackie from Pocket of Preschool, and I'm coming on here live tonight, or if you're watching the replay, I want to show you the brand new Christmas Around the World centers that myself and Jenny, the Multicultural Classroom, we came together and collaborated, and we made this amazing center pack for you guys. And it's gigantic. It's over 300 pages. Like, it's massive. So I wanted to show you all of it. So the holidays that are included are there's 7 holidays. So there's Christmas, Hanukkah, Diwali, Kwanzaa, Chinese New Year, Las Posadas, and St. Lucia. So all of those are included. So in this pack, you get 2 math centers for each holiday, 2 literacy centers for each holiday, a book list, a fact page, writing paper, vocabulary cards, a word bank, what else? Play-Doh cards, brick block or like Lego cards, and cube cards, like for STEM. And there's an epic book list too, for those of you who are doing distance learning. So let me show you all the centers, and I'm going to flip the camera around and let's give it a go. So we are in my photography room, so they're everywhere. So what I'm going to do is show you each holiday, and then we'll go from there. And I can barely walk in here, so if I fall, no worries. Okay, so let's start with Las Posadas. So the math, so there's, like I said, 2 math and 2 literacy. And there's we include teacher direction pages, so there's ways to play to make it harder or easier. So this one is a number matching game, so they can put the trees in order, and then they have to match up the piñatas and the poinsettias, and you can even put out pom-poms or beads, and they can count out the matching number of objects. Add tweezers for fine motor, and there are 3 worksheet options for you, one that goes to 5, 1 to 10, and then one that goes up to 20, because we wanted to make this for kindergarten as well. So you'll see there are some higher level centers, but you can always make them easier. The other math center is this flip and find. So they flip a card, or pick a card, and then they dot it or mark it on their board. Now we have 2 boards. There's a board that goes to 100, and then there's a board that goes to 50, and then so you could do the like worksheet version with like dot markers, or they can cover them with any mini eraser you have. So if I pick the number, 93, you just cover the number 93. And then for the literacy centers, so we have a rhyming piñata game. So I just tape this to a bag, put in some shredded paper to make it a little extra fun. And then they pick the candy from the piñata and find a rhyme, like sled and bed, and then they would put them in the piñata. And there is a worksheet with that as well. And then there is also a CVC word game. So they would have to try and sound out the word, and there is a picture cue in the corner so they can self-check. So bat. And then there's a worksheet that goes along with that. So those are the 2 centers for Las Posadas. For Chinese New Year, we have, for the math game, we have this shape match. So they pick a shape card, and they can either trace it with a dry erase marker, or they can cover it up with, gold coins or pennies, whatever you want to do, or just, cubes, whatever you want. There is a black and white version of this as well. The other math center is a base 10 block center. So they're building with base 10 blocks. So they pick a card, and then they have to build it with the base 10 blocks, and this has a worksheet as well. The literacy centers is a super cute letter matching game. Now you can just do the letters if you just want them to match the uppercase and the lowercase, or if you want to make it harder, you can have them match the sound. So lantern starts with an L. So like the little guys are carrying the dragon, and then there's a recording page. You can put these in a sensory bin. You can have them match letters. And again, with any of the letter games, to make them easier, just don't put out the whole alphabet. Put out maybe like letters A through M or A through L to make it easier and not as overwhelming. There's also this extra fun word building game or activity with Legos. So they grab Legos and they build the word, so you can tell it's built over there. Now they don't have to build it exactly the same as on the card, but just grab a base mat and then they can build the word, and there is a worksheet that goes with that as well. For, whoops, I just kicked that with my foot. For Diwali, there is this really fun, there's letter mats, so you can play them two ways. So you can use them as like manipulative mats, and they can do Play-Doh or dry erase marker and just trace them on the mat. Or you can use them and make a sand tray with them. So they shake, 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 and then they pick the letter, and they can make that letter in the sand tray. And if you don't have a tray like this, you can always just use any tray with like a lip on it, or those kid divided plates work great too. And there's the worksheet that goes with that. The other literacy game for this one is this beginning sound game. So there is a object, and then they have to write the letter, and then they have to find the letter on the worksheet, or you could put it in dry erase pocket. So that way it's kind of like a check, and you can always write the answers on the back for a self-check. So that is the Literacy Center. And then this is one of my favorites. So this is a pattern block symmetry challenge. So they have to, just match the pattern blocks, and this one has them filled in, like in black and white, and then this one is empty. So this would be super challenging. Obviously, this is more for kindergarten or your super smart preschoolers, but this one preschool could do, and that one kindergarten can do, or just take it up a level or down a level depending on the level of your kids, regardless of the grade. And then we love roll and cover games. So this one is just a roll and cover with one dice. So they roll the dice, count it, and then cover the number. And there is a black and white version as well with that one. Or you can always make it addition. So you can just grab the addition mat, and then they roll two dice, and then they have to either dot it or cover it. So that's really fun. So those are the Diwali centers. The Kwanzaa centers, like I said, you guys, there's two math, 2 literacy per holiday, and there's 7 holidays. So it's huge. All right, so the 2 literacy centers. So there's this letter hide and seek game. So they hide the people behind the letters, and then they have to find them. And as they find them, you can have your kiddos mark it off on this recording page. There is also a lowercase option as well. And then the other game for that is this color by code sight word game. And there is this cheat sheet, so if your kiddos don't know their colors, you can either color it for them, or you can have them use the cheat sheet. So these are the 3, I can't count, the 3 color by code worksheets for just some basic sight words. And then for math, we have this I Spy counting graph. So they can count how many and then fill in the graph. You can use any manipulative. You can use colored buttons. You can use cubes, whatever you want. And there also is a worksheet version. You can always put these in dry erase pockets and do this too. So that's another option as well. So there's 2 graphs with that one. And then you have to have 10 frame games, right? So this is a 10 frame mat, so it goes up to 20. So there's the number they can trace with the dice, so they can self-check, and then they have to build the number with Play-Doh or you can use cubes. Really any manipulative you have. If you have fruit mini erasers, that would be really fun. And there is a worksheet to go with that one as well. Okay. Whew. Oh, trying to get up. Okay, sorry. These are all on the floor, so they're extra fun to show you guys. These are the Christmas centers. So this one is make Santa's beard. So they roll the dice and get out that many pom-poms and fill his beard. And again, you can use 1 dice, or you could use 2 to make an addition, and throw in some tweezers, and now you have some fine motor in there as well. And then there is a black and white version as well, so they could color it, and then they could glue the cotton balls on too. And you have a little fun little craft, a little math craft for them to take home. This one is some addition cards, so you can have them put the pom-poms on and then count the total, or they can put the pom-poms on, write the total, and then for my kindergarten friends, they can actually write the equation on your mat. People are asking about my trays. So these trays you can either get at Lakeshore or Target Dollar Spot during like back to school time, the big ones. For the literacy centers, we have a Christmas light letter match. So some of them are filled in. We have a whole set of alphabet that they're all filled in, and then some of them are, I have another set where they're missing. So they would have to be like A, B, C, and then they would have to find the letter and put it in. So you can use them as matching, which would be a lower level, or you can have them fill it in ABC order. And then there are 2 different worksheets. This one is like a fill-in, and this one is more tracing. So again, we always show you guys how you can make it easier or harder. And then this one is a fun handwriting game. So they have to spin the spinner. And so they pick crayon. So then they pick a letter card. And they got lowercase z. So then they would use the crayon to write the lowercase letter z. And you can tell I did some of them. So that's just, just a little fun twist on making handwriting fun, which can be challenging, right? So, and these do have the dotted lines on them. You can always have them just trace them on there as well. Totally up to you. So those are the Christmas centers. Now let me show you the Hanukkah centers. Oops, I spilled the tray. All right, so for Hanukkah, for the math center, we have this counting on number line. So they would have to count on and fill in the number, and they go all the way up to 20. Now, if your kids are younger and they need support, I did include these number lines so they can figure out which number is on there and which number is next on the number line to help them fill in which number is next. And then we have these fun clip cards, clip which is more or which is less. And they would have to count the number of dreidels and determine which one is less or more depending on the question. These would be really fun to do at circle time as like an exit ticket. Like have the kids come up and 1 or 2 at a time and say which is more, which is less, and then they can go wash their hands or transition to the next thing. These are some giant rhyming puzzles. So they have to find the rhyme. And then if you want, we also have a worksheet so they can write the rhyming words in. So pen and hen, wet and net. Very fun. And then you guys know I love read, write, build maps. So I just had to have some of these. So you can either make it with sight words. So they pick a sight words, then they would write it on the line, and then they would make it with the letter dreidels, or you can have them just pick a letter and then write it, and then they could build it with like Play-Doh, or have them make it with like wiki sticks, anything you want. So those are the Hanukkah centers, and now to try and get to the St. Lucia centers because they're in the middle. So this one is a crown pattern game. So I made my candles with pipe cleaners. So they have to extend the pattern on these. So they would have to continue it with the candles. So this one would be red. Don't mind my kids screaming in the background. Red, yellow. Somebody's with them, so don't worry. And then I do have blank ones, so that way they can make their own. And then we do have a worksheet so they can color their own patterns. And then we have a subtraction cookie jar game, and these are the cookies for that holiday. And so they have to solve the problem. So 9 minus 1, and they have to count how many with some worksheets to go with you out there. And then we have a fun letter dotted. You can either do uppercase or lowercase, so they pick the letter, and then they would cover it up either with cubes, or they can use the black and white like worksheet pages and use dots, and just use any letter manipulative you have for that one. And then these are some fun ending sound dice. So they roll the dice, and then that would be sun, and it would be an N, and then they would have to color the ending sound on their worksheet. So those are all of the worksheets. Those are all of the centers. Whew, that's a lot of centers, you guys. So we included, again, 2 for each holiday, 2 math for each holiday, 2 literacy for each holiday. There's a teacher direction page to tell you, give you some ideas on manipulatives to use, things you already have in your classroom, ways to differentiate. And then for each holiday, we also have all of this. Okay. Excuse me. So we have a fact page. That way you can read it with a class, or you can read it at circle time, and you can use these great vocabulary cards. There's 4 vocabulary cards per holiday. I'm showing you the Hanukkah one. There's also a Play-Doh recipe card. There are 4 writing pages per holiday. So we have the half sheet, and then we have one with dotted lines. We have one just with lines, and then we have one that is blank. So you can use those for any writing activity you want, or you can use them with any of the centers. And then they also come with these word banks, so you can just print them off and have them as a whole page, and you can put this in your writing center so they would have some vocabulary words, or you can put them on Velcro dots, and you can have them sort, so they could take 2 holidays and they could sort which item goes with which holiday. So that's up to you, or you can make it more interactive where sometimes it's just fun when they can pull off the vocabulary cards and use them in the writing, and then they can put them back. There's also a book list for each holiday. Some have more books than others just because some holidays just don't have a lot of quality books. So like this is the Hanukkah book list. It is a clickable book list to Amazon. They're not affiliate links. We just want to make sure you guys can find them quick and easy. And then Jenny made an epic book list for you guys who are doing who want to have books for distance learning, or you can have books you can just put on the smart board or in your classrooms. So that's really, really fun. She did that for us. And then each holiday also has 8 Play-Doh cards. So here are the Play-Doh cards for Hanukkah. And then it also has 4 Lego cards or Lego mats. So here are the cards, and they would just have to build the item on their mat. And these are just those plates from the dollar store. And then there's also 4 cube mats. Now, we also, I don't know if you've noticed on the centers, we tried to put what holiday it is in the corner of lots of things. That way you know, like that one says it in the corner. Some of them are obvious, but that way, so some of mine don't have it on there because when I printed mine, I made notes which ones were missing them. But that way you kind of can keep your holidays together more, because some of the holidays, a lot of them have candles and things like that. So that will kind of help you, especially like with the Play-Doh cards, but we tried to or put like a picture cue in the corner to help you guys determine which things go with which holiday. The writing paper has it in the corner too. So here is all of the goodies for St. Lucia. The writing paper, the book list. Here it is for Diwali. I think I'm saying that incorrectly. Sorry, guys. I get nervous sometimes on Facebook Live when I'm pronouncing words. I actually practiced it before Facebook Live, but then I get nervous. Here is Kwanzaa. All the things. And what I want to do too, which I'll tell you in just a minute, here is Chinese New Year. And Las Posadas. Try not to make you guys dizzy. And then here is Christmas. It also comes with a unit at a glance page because the table of contents is clickable because again it's 300 pages, so it's kind of a lot to go through or find what you need. So the table of contents is clickable, and then there is a unit at a glance. So it has each holiday, it has pictures of what the center is, what the worksheet is, and then it has like what each holiday has everything of. So it'll say that it's 3 pages long. So that way you can kind of, when you're planning, maybe your internet goes down or maybe you're a visual person like me. Like I like paper copies of things. So like I would print that out and then I can use that to lesson plan. So that way you're not having to go through this big giant 300 page unit. Because like maybe you're going to use Chinese New Year in January, or maybe you're going to use a different holiday, they're at different times in November and December. So you may not use them all at once, or you can use them all at once, whenever you want to do. And there are organizational labels in there for you guys. So for like bins or binder covers, binder spines, all of that is in there. So that is the gigantic center pack. All right, well, you guys have an amazing night, and I will talk to you guys soon.